The rest of the Ork Beast Snaggers are seeing their individual releases today, except for the one that isn't. Hello and welcome back to Auspex Tactics, where today we're just taking a look at this week's Orky pre-orders, which Warhammer community have shown off are going to be coming this Saturday. It basically appears to be the second wave of the Ork release, 3 new Beast Snagger kits and nothing else. There's just maybe a couple of things that are kind of conspicuous by their absence, both the Warboy getting an individual release, and any of the contents of the new Start Collecting Orks box coming out separately. So the 3 Ork kits that are coming out are the Kill Rig and Hunter Rig, the Painboss and his Grot Orderly, and the Beast Boss on Squigosaur that can also build Mozrog's Gragbat. Fairly big news for the strongest greenskin army lists, as those Kill Rigs and those Beast Bosses just seem to be enormously strong for their points cost, and I have a feeling are going to be making it into plenty of Ork army lists. First up we have this enormous death train that is the Kill Rig, a really pretty huge centerpiece Ork kit. I've already made an entire video reviewing the rules of the thing, but for the 190 points that you pay for it, I think that it brings some pretty enormous value to the table. Good movement, good toughness, good melee, some shooting, 2 psychic powers, and a really helpful stratagem to slow down an enemy unit. Just means that this thing really isn't going to be something that your opponent can ignore. I must admit, looking at this compared with other Games Workshop big similar kits, I'm not optimistic for it being very cheap. I really wouldn't be too surprised if this thing is something like £85 or $140 just by itself. I'm sure we'll know the prices soon enough, and I might make another video later in the week to go over them if they're interesting. Perhaps the only slight annoyance about the Kill Rig release though is that it does indeed seem that the Warboy is only going to be available in this kit. So if you did happen to just want the new Beast Snagger Psyker all by himself, you would have to buy one of these and assemble it as a Hunter Rig. That's the more transport orientated one that doesn't have the Whir Tower on top. To be honest, as it stands currently though, I'm not sure it's the biggest deal for Ork players. I think the Warboy just on his own isn't particularly strong, and I'd usually rather have weird boys anyway. And for me, if I was going to include the Warboy's psychic powers, I think I would rather include him on a Kill Rig, as he gets bonus casting, a very nice Whir Tower shooting attack, and gets to be able to cast 2 powers automatically, regardless of how many Orks are nearby. Still though, just a touch irritating if one HQ choice isn't available unless you buy a massive great big kit. I suppose you could always convert one if you're desperate. A little bit of plastic card making some lightning spikes would certainly do the trick in my opinion. Next up we have the Painboss and his Grot Orderly. He's the excessively creepy looking Ork Doc, a nice saw-bladed Power Claw, a Medisquig IV pack, and he seems to have removed his own legs to replace them with some big bounding mechanical ones. Really quite a cool and thematic miniature. I'm not sure if he will be my first choice for an Ork HQ in game though. Not unless he's trying to make a green tide work and standing at the heart of several very big mobs of boys. I'm sure he'll be very similar in cost to Games Workshop's standard character releases. Finally for the Beast Snagger releases, we have the Beast Boss on Squigosaur or Mozrog's Gragbat. And to be honest, the Beast Boss on the Squigosaur probably would be my first choice for an Ork HQ that you can't really go wrong with. The datasheet's just ridiculously good value for what you get. Enormously tough, very fighty, and he can be taken to the next level on either of those accounts by the certain combination of Warlord traits and relics. This thing can be toughness 7, a 5+ invul, 5+ feel no pain, -1 damage, and also be -1 to wound as well, and also -1 to wound on top of that. Mozrog's also pretty good in himself if you are going snake bites, but if you're not, then the standard Beast Boss on the Squigosaur is absolutely brutal. For an HQ choice, the kit really is quite a big one. Again, I suspect it's going to be at least reasonably pricey. Probably the same or more as a Space Marine Chaplain on bike. Again, I'm sure we'll have the pricing fairly soon. Finally, it seems at least as of yet, there's no individual releases for the contents of the new Ork Combat Patrol box, so no unique box for the Deathcopters, the Boys, or the Warboss. I think Games Workshop did say that this will be the first place that you could get them, so I guess there's still hope that they might be releasing individually somewhere down the line, but at the moment I guess that's not guaranteed. Again, would kind of be helpful for people who just want to get their hands on the Deathcopters or the Warboss, but aren't necessarily so bothered about a ton more Boys or the Death Dread. Though to be honest, I suspect that eBay is usually going to be helpful for this sort of thing. I'm sure plenty of people will be selling the bits that they don't want, or just breaking up the kit en masse into its individual parts. Interestingly enough, in the UK at least, it seems that the Warboss is going for just the same price as the 3 Deathcopters put together, both of those costing you around about £20 right now. Either way, I suspect that's less than what Games Workshop would sell them for individually. Certainly could be worth a look depending on where you live in the world. So let me know what you think of the new Orky releases. Look forward to hearing your thoughts down in the comments below, and I might think about making a video later in the week to discuss the prices if there's anything interesting. If you've enjoyed the video, then feel free to subscribe to Auspex Tactics if you'd like to see more. I'll certainly try and keep up with Games Workshop's news and releases. And if you've been enjoying the videos on the channel quite a bit, there is a Patreon page down in the video description where you can leave any support if you want to. Channel patrons do get a few advantages, including seeing some videos early, regular votes to see what sort of things happen next, and automatic entry into the regular prize draws with a chance to win some big model kits each month. If any of that sounds good to you, or you'd just like to help support, then the link is down in the video description. In any case, a massive thank you for listening, and I'll hope to see you guys next time.